Hello, it's me, Annalisa. It is Sunday, June 6th, 2021, and this is my spiritual friend. I hope you guys are doing well. Just a few of you here, but there's more signed up for questions, so we'll see who pops in. Just been trucking along. Went to a drive-in movie last night, and it was really nice. We haven't been in like a year. So we went and saw Spirit Horse Whisperer thing. It's called Spirit Untamed. Sorry. So I hope everybody's doing well. Mariana, I have not received your payment yet, just so you know. Hi, Rachdan, I did receive your payment. I do have on the list so far, I think KK's getting, I sent it to her. Oh, KK's got it up there. I sent it to her a tiny bit late. So let's see, announcements. I'm reminding you that I said this last week. As of July 1st, I am giving myself a pay raise, so my rates for private readings will be going up. Still $5 here, so it's not like you can't get in here for a reasonable price if you can't afford a full reading. So the rates will go up to for a half hour to $125 for a half hour and $200 for an hour. And if you just don't like it, I'm very sorry, but after 7 years, a girl deserves a raise. Hi, Lucy. Hello, Cold Rain. If you are not subscribed, please like and subscribe and share me with your friends. I pretty much get found out by word of mouth, and which is great. I get, hello, hanger holders. Hello, hanger holders. Okay, we just keep it real here. So like and subscribe. The other thing that I just put up on my website is I'm finally doing psychic development circles. They will be closed circles. I've got 2 on there right now. They will be for 6 weeks, once a week. There's going to be one on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So then it sort of will help you. Maybe if you're on the West Coast, you can do an evening one. And then I have something on Friday nights. Otherwise I would do it then. And I'm trying not to like book up my whole weekends with psychic stuff. My family gets a little tired of it. No, they don't get tired of it, but it does make scheduling, doing outdoor activities and things a little harder. Hi, Lauren Jane. So I'll check the payments in a minute. So the psychic development circles, and there's going to be one on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. And they're going to be about an hour and 15 minutes. They might stretch to an hour and a half, but no more than that. It depends. But the max amount of people that I'm going to allow to be participants are 12. It will be the same 12 people in each group each week for the 6 weeks. They are going to be $120 for all 6 sessions. That's a really, really good deal. And if you've had private mentoring with me, you'll get a 20% discount, which I'll refund to you because setting up my own website, like this morning, I was quick building the page and then updating and editing some different things on my website. And I don't farm that out yet because when you're a small business owner, you sort of try and cut overhead as much as possible. And I learned to build my own webpage, so it's not. It's all me. Anyway, so I tried setting it up as an Eventbrite, and it when I set it in, I set it as private, so then I would link it to my page, so it wouldn't just be anybody, but you guys would have access to it. It didn't do right, and I can't cancel it since I made it. I don't know, whatever. It's messed up, and so forget it. It's just gonna die in the Eventbrite world of not being able to find it, and that's fine. So I hope that you guys join me. And if enough people are interested, I can always open up other circles, too. Or if you decide hey, I know 12 people and those times don't work for us, but this time does, would you be willing to, and so we can work something out that way too. What else? That's what I'm doing. So the circles basically are, not necessarily me giving you messages, it's you learning to connect in with your intuition and give messages. And I will tell you the first time that when I was learning to tap into my own intuition and develop it, literally the first circle I went to was after my first psychic development class through Holistic Studies Institute in New York. They used to do them in person, they're now online, but and I went because they really encourage you to practice and connect in. So you can get a message from the seance conductor, but they're also encouraging you to stretch your abilities, especially if you're in those classes. And I loved that because it was a safe space for me to do that. And literally the first one I saw a roulette wheel. And I was like, I don't know what this means. And I said, I saw you and I saw a roulette wheel and I have no idea what it means. And somebody like 4 people down from me was like, oh my God, I saw that too. So it wasn't that I had this huge, big, profound message. It was that someone else got the same exact thing that I did. And neither one of us knew what it meant, but getting that validation that you were connecting into something bigger and getting the same thing was like such a gift, because it also then encouraged me to, okay, instead of go, oh, this is stupid, I'm not getting anything, to go, oh, I am getting something, and like stretch more and be braver and all of that. And I really believe that practice makes perfect, and you really do grow through practice. I mean, I feel like I've grown just through doing readings this way, because I'm doing them consistently and I'm really stretching the number of people that I can do and all of that. So I want to help you. I'll help you connect in, figure out what you're doing, figure out how to get a deeper message, and do the work on a group level. So I hope you guys are interested. If you are, just go to my website, and there is a page now for it, and it's called Psychic Development Circles. It's pretty obvious. So yeah, I do have some rules for that one though too. So if you're like, oh, I can only do 3 of them, well, you're still going to pay the $120, because if I have a spot reserved for you for the whole time, I need the payment for the whole time. I'm a small business. So like if you miss one, I'm not going to refund. I'm not going to refund you the money for that one. If you sign up and it's less than 24 hours and you decided I don't want to do the circle at all, I won't refund you your money because it's less than 24 hours before the whole thing starts. And I've saved that space for you. And I can either, if there's another circle open that you can fit the time better and there's a space open, I can move you to that, or you can postpone it or whatever, but I won't be refunding your money. But if it's before then, I'd be happy to refund your money because I'd like to leave it open to potentially somebody else being able to join the circle. There was one other thing on there that I said, if you miss one, you don't get your money back. If you cancel in the middle of it and say, I'm done with this, I can't do anymore, you don't get your money back. So I'm a small business owner and, if I was bigger, I would do more. I've also been thinking about some little things I want to do. I'm just kind of branching out and expanding. Hello, Cindy. So I've just been chatting and telling people about what I'm offering. So that's that. I hope you're all well. Let's get started. I've been chatting enough. It's been 7 minutes. So ready? Spaghetti. Let's go. Hi, Aura A. Okay, so let me check my payments, see who's paid. If we need to add on. Hello. Okay. After Starry Sky, I have Marlene. And if you didn't put your screen name on here, I'm assuming this is the name you're going by on your screen name. Lauren D. Mariana, I got your payment. So these are all for one question each. Christy K, sorry, for one question, and Ashley P for one question. So everybody here is one question. All right, Miss Cindy, go ahead and put your questions. You are up first. Oh, Lauren Jane is Lauren D. Okay. I was wondering about Elijah's health regarding his urology health. This is weird, but I immediately I feel like he might actually have a little bit of ureter reflux. Is that something that you're testing? Like, did you do I forget what is it called? Is it a VCUG? Where they fill the bladder and then they, I think it's called a VCUG, where they fill the bladder and then they tilt the baby in all the funny directions and take all the x-rays. I think he might have mild ureter reflux. So they might end up putting, what is that sort of what they're looking at? Are the upcoming surgeries the way to go? It was while he was hospitalized. Okay. Can you tell me this? Because when you say surgeries, it's multiple. So I need them. Do you mind just breaking down hypospadias? Yeah, to fix that. I feel like it's actually minor, but it will like long term be better now than down the road. Testicular issues. I wonder if that's why I got the ureter reflux, because I was going like to the ureter. I don't know, whatever. Testicular issues. I feel like one is dropped and one hasn't. And I actually feel like it literally feels like doing like a small release on that, and it's nothing. It's like a little. One's lodged in his groin. So one's dropped and it literally feels like, for me, it feels like it's, even if it's lodged, it feels like it's like something like a quick release, like of, when, I don't even know how to explain what I'm seeing. It's like a little snip of skin and it would just drop down. It's like just one little thing is keeping it there. And it's just like, it feels like it's a really simple, easy thing. Yeah, I understood the hypospadias, even if it registered in my brain. And I feel like that's even very minor for the hypospadias. And that it's like, if fixed now, it's like super simple, less traumatic surgery than if like wait till longer. And then his body like adjusts more normally and grows more normally with it. Maybe I was getting a little bit of the reflux because with the reflux, they're prone to bladder infections and kidney infections. So maybe that's why I was getting that, because that would seem the case too with a hypospadias if it's lower and also not peeing in the right direction. So he'll be fine. And again, like better, and they literally feel like very minor, and I feel like they'll do it in one shot and be done. Like, so even though you're saying surgeries, it feels like one surgery, one and done. Okay. So yeah, good to go. Okie dokie. Yeah, one surgery, one and done. And it feels very quick. Like it doesn't feel like, oh my God, we're in surgery for hours and hours and hours. It feels like real done, real easy, in and out. He'll be first case of the day. And I would honestly be surprised if it wasn't done on a Tuesday. Which is weird, but I feel like it'll be done on Tuesday. And he may have just an overnight where they decide to keep him overnight, because he might have a little bit of dips in his O2 sats just for the first 24 hours where they monitor him, and then he'll be okay. Did they talk to you about possible overnight stay for him? And then we'll move to your organization question. Sorry. It's powerful wiggling with my sturdy table. If y'all saw my setup. What do you mean you're bouncing? I saw the other question. I just wanted to ask you about his surgery. Did they tell you about the potential overnight stay? Okay. I'm telling you this because when it happens, I don't want you to worry. Or if it happens, I don't want you to worry. My sense is that he might get an overnight stay because I feel like his O2 sats might dip a little bit just from post-op recovery, the anesthesia and stuff, but then goes home, no problem. Okay. Okay. So even if they don't tell you about it and they are like, oh, everything's gonna be fine. If he starts to desat or something and they're just like, we just want to watch him for observation for 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever overnight, don't panic. He will be okay. It's just a little sleepy. Like, it's like almost like, yeah, I'm just saying, don't panic. Okay. Okay. The organization. Right. So I'm telling you this because the way they're telling me it is like to not worry. And you'll go, Anna told me he'll be fine. This is just going to be the way he is with anesthesia, and he'll be fine. He'll come out of it. He'll be A-okay, like a rock star. He just may need a little bit of more observation than wanting to have him on. And it just feels like being on nasal cannula for a little bit and just needing a little bit to get through his, like, it's like the anesthesia takes a little bit longer to clear his system than it would somebody else. Like he's somebody where it sits a little bit longer. And or to metabolize would be the best word for it. It will be okay. He will be okay. The organization. It sounds so like, you're not my only client who asks about this organization. And it's the same kind of thing. And with this other client, I got like somebody kind of catty being in charge. I actually feel like, I don't feel like you're supposed to go through with your cousin. I feel like you're supposed to go through somebody else. And yeah, I feel like you're supposed to go through with your friend. Is the Montclair one, it like either more established or I don't know. It just feels like, it feels like the same thing that this other person on my client is going through. It feels like the one that she thought would work out ends up having this really kind of like catty, weird thing going on, like power play thing going on. And like, I'm like, it's the same feeling of like getting help through somebody you don't actually know. It's like more of a surprising place. So the Montclair one's older, well, more established. It just feels like that's going to be where it is. And that's what I felt like the same thing with this other person. It ends up being where it's more established. It's been around longer. Aged better, like a fine wine or a good scotch. I don't know. Not that I drink either. I actually think about it like, I'm like, if I ever had to bring a hostess gift, I'd be so screwed because I'd have to bring something like spiritually, because I mean, I know like I like a Malbec, but I don't know brands. And I haven't had a glass of Malbec in I don't know how long. And it's not because I have an alcohol problem. It's because I have a sleep problem and my children are the cause of it. And I can't give up my children. So it seems logical to give up my alcohol, right? Not that I never drank alone anyway. It was like, if I went out to drink, I'd have like with whatever. Anyway, y'all don't care, but 2 drinks, I'd have like 2 glasses and then I'd be like 3 sheets to the wind. I'm kidding. Okay. Maybe like 40 years. That's my, yes. Oh, okay. Oh, that's why. Okay. I know it's about who you know, but it's weird. It's the same thing where it feels like, going like getting help in a surprising place, like not where you expected it. And I definitely like, I'm not judging the organization, or I just am always like, it's so interesting to me how connections are so important. It's interesting to me. And it's not just like in things like this. It's like all over. I always find it very interesting. Like I never, it's just interesting. I'll leave it at that. That's my sense though, is that it ends up being with an older chapter and somebody that you're not expecting. Donation list is still open, Emily. Okay, Cindy? Does that satisfy your inquiry? But Cindy, I also just find people interesting. Like the things that we do that hinder our own paths. And it's all interesting. I was really excited because last week, this is random and whatever, but Rose commented, and Rose is from Florida, and Rose hasn't been on here in a long time. She was on here a lot when we did the free ones, and I just know she had some health stuff. And so I was really excited to see her post because I just really liked her energy and thought she was sweet and all of that stuff. So I still think about all of y'all. All right, loves. Hi, Lana. Okay, Laura H, Kimmy J, and Devry, you guys are all up. I know Kimmy J and Devry both have 2 questions each. Sure, Laura. Let me grab my rock. My comfort rock. Do you have a comfort rock? Okay, sorry.
Laura, tell me this. Are you the one, because I think this is for you, but now I'm confused between you and Lauren Jane, so forgive me, but are you, you're welcome. Are you the one who's working on your psychic development and connections? Because I just feel like what I was feeling was like really, really connected in and really open to feel, this is like interesting because it's only coming through my left half. And so I apparently have created new language and a new thing, guys, that if I get it on my left, it is my receiving and my right is my giving. This is how it starts. You have it happen one time and then that's like, it's decided. So I do feel like you're receiving really, really easily, but it's like not translating into what it means and how to define it. And like, so you're like, I just have all this information and I don't know what to do it. And I actually felt like I was like skipping along and like literally like in the flow and doing really, really well. And then like wondering how I got in the flow, wondering like what happened, why did I get out of it? Like, it's like this. Does this make sense when I'm rambling? You're not working on it yet? I think that you're getting stuff. Do you feel like you're getting information? Does this make sense when I say like I'm getting information, but I don't know what to do with it? Because it's literally all on my left side. I feel completely dizzy and like it was like showing me in the flow, but like curving. So, you know, like when someone has scoliosis, well, their spine can curve anyway, but it can curve like, you know, it just feels like I'm off balance, like I'm receiving and not giving. This can also be literally, you tend to receive more than you give. You're getting the information and not knowing what to do with it. Do you understand what it means, or do you feel confused about, like, you're like, oh, okay, I don't know what that means? Because that's the feeling, is like I'm in the flow and I'm getting it. So I'm in it all of a sudden, if it's a dream especially, but I don't know how I got there and I don't know how to, like, why all of a sudden I'm out of it. Like, why can't I do this intentionally in waking phases, waking states? Also, I feel like you're not eating enough. Like, it's this idea of like, I want to lose weight, but I actually feel like, so sometimes when you get in the mode of like chronically not eating enough because you think I'm like whatever, it's like you've slowed your metabolisms to the point that it's like you actually need to eat more to lose weight. Like, you need to increase your metabolism. Emily, I do have Venmo. Does this make sense about not eating enough? Like,
because I just felt really nauseous and dizzy. And that to me that's more related about, that's like more talking about actual nutrition. Stop eating chocolate. Do you tend to be in denial about what you need to do to fix things in your life? Because they're like, I'm like, I go, what does she want to know? And they're like, she doesn't. Oh, you're gonna kick me in the pants for this one. It's this idea of like, you know what you need to do to fix things in your life, and you're not doing it, and you're not listening to the things that you're getting. Because like your dreams are really like, even if you're not trying, they're trying to talk to you. And I actually feel like you're getting stuff more during the daytime than you're aware of. Do you feel like at night, because they're showing me you being clairvoyant and clairaudient. So clairvoyance would be, as I go to sleep at night, I keep seeing pictures going from picture to picture to picture, or like a quick little scene to scene to scene. I'm feeling like I can't shut my brain down until about 2 a.m. And and they're like, we're talking to her and she's not listening. Not only that, I feel like it's like, I have this going wrong in my life. I have this going wrong in my life. I have this going wrong in my life. And you're wanting me to sit here and go, and all this magic is going to happen, and all these beautiful things are going to come in, and you don't have to do any work to make it happen. I think, and I'm not like saying like, but it's like, you know, you want to lose weight, you know, you need to eat healthier, and yet like you're eating a lot of chocolate. Like, it's like, I know what I need to do to fix the things in my life. I just have to like do them. And there is no magic pill, and there is no, I keep seeing all of these things, even with psychic development, and like, there is no magic that's going to get you there. It's like, you have to put one foot in front of the other and start the work, and then it all will fall into place. The universe will help you do that. But they're like, kind of like, if you want a man, we're not going to just have him show up on your door. Like, what are the chances it's your delivery man? Like, I mean, one of my aunts did end up marrying her contractor, but that's another story. And he sort of did just show up on her doorstep, but that's like not the norm. Hard time going to sleep. That is your guides connecting in with you. So you're receiving and you don't know what to do with this, and it's coming through. Okay. So you're receiving and you just don't realize that you're receiving it. This is like a theme in your life. You're receiving and you don't know you're receiving it. So you think you're like, what do I do with this? So like, you're manifesting love in your life, but you're like not recognizing all the love that sits around you as well. And so it's like, you're receiving, but you're not really recognizing. And then you don't know what to do with this. And then And also you'll receive and then it'll go away. And you're like, when is the one going to come? Because all of these dads. So we're going to go back to, I really like Dylan James. I love him. I like what he's teaching. It works. It makes sense. And it's like, oh yeah, that's the truth. So he focuses on relationships, but really what it comes down to is your relationship with you, your self-love, your self-worth. Because if you don't have a core belief system of, I am worthy, I deserve everything I have, I am love, I create love within me, this is all I need, I am whole and complete on my own, then when you can manifest something wonderful in your life, like a man or a partner or the perfect job or whatever, but you will lose it if you don't believe that you are worthy of it and deserve it. And they're sort of just saying like, we're giving you all of this stuff, open up and wake up to it. Long time ago,
my guide said to me, I think I was like in 4th or 5th grade. I was standing outside my townhouse, and I grew up in a pretty chaotic family. My parents divorced when I was 6, and that wasn't my sad story. But my guide said, and I latchkey kid, all that, but who wasn't at that time, right? I think like all of my friends were. But you, so it becomes like Lord of the Flies. Just kidding. Then, my guide said to me very clearly, I didn't know about guides, but I heard a man's voice in my head say, like, you don't have to be what they expect you to be. Like, you don't have to manifest based on what everything has always been or what certain circumstances say they have to be, because it just doesn't have to be that way. Yes. Okay. So it's sort of like you're not there yet, but you will get there. Reprogram stuff, because it's also like, this is what comes down to body image too. Like with our bodies, like if you love and accept your body where it's at, it makes it easier to transform it, because you're like not hating on it because it's not where you want it to be. I literally feel like in the next like 2 to 3 months, you're actually going to start understanding what all of this stuff is that's coming in, what you're receiving, and learning how to like process it and connect in with it and get what it means, and paying attention to it. And it's not that like, oh, they're going to be telling me the lottery numbers and but it's like, they're going to be reminding me on a regular basis of my worthiness, and reminding me that, where things are happening, and showing me the synchronicities that everything's lining up and coming into place. And that is your message. Get out of your way. And also, like, if you know what you need to do to improve your life, just do it. Like, I don't care about that. This workout's going to get you the beach body you want in 7 days. That shit's bullshit. You and I both know it. But the mindset will get you there to put in the work and do it. Because unfortunately, as much as, yes, you can shift it or whatever, as much as we want to believe that, we still do live in this 3D heavy realm that sort of has like dictated certain things. So you're welcome. All right, Kimmy, I will find yours. Question number 1, will my daughter Amanda find her life partner? Will she have more children? Y'all. Some of my answers are going to be like, you're going to be like, that's not psychic. But I will tell you this, when I give readings or when I get readings, because I go to readings too, it isn't that they're giving me something so profound where I'm like, oh my God. It is that they are validating what I already know. Your daughter has a ton of self-esteem issues and self-worth issues, and it's not your fault as mom. Not your fault. But we have generational crap that gets passed down on us, and belief systems of how the world is, how relationships work, what's okay, what's not okay. And it's like a subconscious thing that we get passed down. And like, I realize I've passed some stuff down to my kids already. And I'm like, ooh, let's reprogram that and nip it in bud and reteach them that's not right. You're very welcome, Laura. So I actually feel like she has a lot of self-esteem issues, and until she finds that self-worth stuff, show her the Dylan James stuff. I don't feel like she's going to meet that person. So let's reframe that. I feel like she's not going to hit that point for 3 to 4 years. Does she have 2 now? Children now? Did she have a miscarriage or an abortion? You don't have to tell which one, but you can just say yes or no.
And I say that because I felt like she has two, and then one coming in. $5 each question. Yes. Okay. So I feel like she'll have one more. You didn't have to define it. I don't really care. To me, it's not, there's no, again, no judgment. I know some people are like, that's against God's will, but let me tell you, no, it's not. That's called, it's just not. And if the soul is meant to be here, it'll be here, and it really doesn't matter what you try to do. So all just learning lessons. So that's what I feel. She'll have one more coming in. All right, Miss Debris, I've been to get through my medical program, but it's harder than I thought. So my first question is, did I pick the right program, or do I need to go into something else? You're welcome, Kimmy. Did she pick the right program? No, they said you did pick the right program. Oh my God, lady. It is a good thing I practice what I preach. I literally do not recommend anything to you guys unless I've been doing it, looking through it, whatever, and thinking that it works. And my day 21 of listening to those affirmation things will happen this week on I think right before the solar eclipse. Big changes, big manifestations come in. So I feel like one, he's got an affirmation thing on there to start listening to for the good grades. I'm not kidding. I don't feel like it's as much hard as it is you're like mentally intimidating yourself, like going, this is too hard, I can't do this. So it feels like asking your professional for study tips, or your professor, your teacher for study tips, like looking at it a little different way. Because I feel like there's tips and tricks to do this, and getting in a study group will help you immensely instead of trying to do it on your own. Because I feel like just looking at it is overwhelming you and intimidating you, when it's really like, it's something much easier than the way you're looking at it. Does that make sense when I'm saying that to you? And also, I see the question about any messages from your family. Can you give me somebody specific you want to connect with? I do feel like a grandmother energy coming through, and she said, go on. She's just encouraging you, calling you baby, but just encouraging you. But she's bringing my awareness to my fingers. And the only thing I can think of is clubbing with my fingers. So did she have long-term cardiac issues, having oxygenation issues? Because you'll get clubbing of the fingers when you have oxygenation issues. Grandmother. Okay, so the grandmother was coming through, and she's calling you baby. Did she have cardiac issues? And I also think maybe diabetes, because I see like she's making me feel like bringing my awareness also to my lower limbs having circulatory issues. Okay. So she's just encouraging you. It's not like this big whatever. She's like saying you're doing fine. She called you baby. But not like the long, like it had like this, there's a sweetness to it when she says it, like you're doing okay, baby. You're fine. Like it's more of an encouraging voice. It's not that this big message, it's just encouraging you, and walking you through it. I feel like she would have been a place that would have encouraged you. Like she would have been a person you would have gone to when she was alive, just to be like, for the reassurance that you're doing okay, that you're on the right track and on the right path. And she's still doing that from the other side. Okie dokie. Rachdan, Starry Sky, Marlene, you guys are up. I'll go ahead and check PayPal while you guys are typing. Please like and subscribe. Share me with your friends. Thank you for all of you, by the way, because I don't think I thank you enough for your support and your love and all of that, because it's always lovely to know that my friends are here when I show up. Okay, I got auras. Someone said that yes, I only have PayPal, but I do have Venmo. So if you have Venmo, I can do Venmo. I don't have Cash App and 8 billion other things, I'm sorry, as an option. Okay, Regine just wants a general reading and she will pick that up later. Okie dokie. It is harder to do things when you can't stay on the live, because then I feel like I can't, when I'm like, oh, can you clarify this? Because then I can like zoom off with it. But R. Davis, is that Regine? You know. Who's R. Davis? Let me find you. It didn't show up yet, but it doesn't mean it won't. It just means, oh, I got it. I got you, R. Okay, so after Regine, so I have, I don't know, KK, if I was mumbling. Okay, so let me look at the list and see who we need to add. Rachdan, when do you feel Mantosh can call me, and what possibly could be his motive for me? Contact me. I'm planning to unblock. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so let's see. Rachdan, Starry Sky, Marlene, Lauren Jane. Lauren D is Lauren Jane, Mariana, Christy K, Ashley P. After Ashley P, I have an Aura, A-U-R-A, and Regine, and then also R. Davis. So just, if you'll just add Aura and R. Davis on as well, please, KK. Okay. So let's look at Mantosh. Mantosh. So I do feel like a lot of unhealthy stuff going on between the two of you. Like, it does feel like there's a little codependent behavior and like this weird power control struggle thing. Are you doing the blocking him for the purposes of no contact SP? And I'm asking that because that's the feeling I got. And they're kind of like, he will come back, but it's also that, like, because you haven't healed all of this stuff in here and reprogram these beliefs, it's not even healing, just reprogram it. Reprogram it. Ego trigger. Yes, upper hand in relationship. Okay. Oy, 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 oy. Okay. Reprogram. We reprogram our computers all the time. We update them, we upgrade them, and we aren't going, we're healing our computers. We're going, oh, there's some code error in here we need to fix. There's a little like this could run smoother. This could, like, you know, like, you're not going, it needs to be healed, it's broken. I kind of like, like, we're fixing it. We're reprogramming it. And they're sort of saying, like, it'll work. He'll respond within a week. He'll connect within a week, but it feels like it's going to keep being this back and forth, this, like, it's not about healing. It's literally reprogramming. Go do this Dylan James stuff, I'm telling you. I've actually started writing down, like, some different ones that I might start, like, making them because, well, one, because I don't want to stream for 8 hours every night when there's, like, other things I want to tweak, and there's, like, different things that I think could work better. But two, because
dude, it works. It works. It works. It works. And when you're in alignment, when you get all of this stuff and you're in alignment, then everything just starts to manifest like that. It's like effortless. It's effortless. And you recognize that, like, I can have whatever I want. I deserve what I want. It's okay for me to want what I want. And like he says, you know, we're here to experience the fullness and richness of life and have our desires and needs met. And what to reprogram: worthiness, value, that that you have to work hard for love, that love isn't, you aren't deserving of love unless it's this struggle, and love always is difficult to come by. It always leaves. They don't value me. They don't see me. I'm not worthy of them. And it doesn't matter what anybody says outside of you. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are loved. You create value and worth and love inside of you. There is nothing outside of you that will ever bring that to you, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much stuff you have, no matter how many relationships you have. Even if you find the one, if you don't feel valuable in here, it will go away. So that's what I'm talking about: reprogramming your self-worth, reprogramming your belief systems around your value and your worthiness. And I truthfully feel like you got a lot of this, and not intentionally, from your relationship with your father. Sometimes moms do this, but I feel like your dad was this really, like, this idea of how you have to be in order to get love. So it's like, I'm not there yet. I'm not this yet. I'm not that yet. Stop looking outside of yourself. Just own who you are. Okay. Miss Starry Sky, was that a question with the birthmark, or was that just something random? We spend a lot of times as humans just beating ourselves up. And truthfully, like, I really finally understood. I was watching this tarot reading. I like to watch them because I like to learn the way people read and stuff. And it was interesting because it was like, it collaborated so much with, like, it was like for this week. And it was like, you're going to be doing ancestral healing this week. And that's when I finished this 21-day cycle thing. I'm probably going to do it a little bit longer because I want to make sure it's stamped really well. But it truly will be ancestral healing, because these belief systems that I have of value and worth, they didn't come from nowhere. They got passed down to me unintentionally through my parents, through their parents, through their parents. Like, it's a generational thing. So when you heal yourself, I'm healing the generations behind me. I am stopping that pattern, and I am healing the generations ahead of me or after me, my children. I'm going to give them a totally different gift and a way of seeing themselves and loving themselves and being confident and being okay with that than I ever got. And that's pretty powerful. So I thought, I don't know, generational healing, it's real, and this is how it happens. Hey, thank you for the validation and congratulations. That's awesome. I always love hearing that, because I tell you guys stuff and, like, half the time I'm like, oh no, I got a validation from a client. I think it was like 2 Sundays ago, I did a reading, and I never do readings on Sundays for private readings, because I'm like, this is enough. And, like, you know, it's for balance between family life and whatever. And I did it because it was like circumstantial, and it was like, okay, I'll do it, whatever. And she asked me to connect in with some loved ones. Like, I did a whole bunch of stuff, and then she asked me to connect with some loved ones, and I was giving her messages, and she was like real quick to go, nope, they always come through for other people, but no, I don't think you're connecting. And I was like, I know I'm connecting. But I've learned to just go, okay, whatever. Like, because it's just not worth, like, the effort or the struggle or the frustration, or sometimes it's just, this is what it is. She texted me yesterday and said, remember how I said you weren't connecting? Well,
this came through. I found out I validated these on both these two different spirits that were coming through. I validated, remember you said this, and I don't want to give too much information because of privacy and all that. But I responded back, like, I'm glad that you got the validation to know that I was connecting in, because I knew I was connecting in. So I love hearing that, because it is nice to know, like some, the whatever. It does take courage to hear the truth. My phone is charged. It does take courage to hear the truth. And also, thank you. I am the real deal. I always giggle when people are like, I posted something and I got all these comments like, you're a fake, it's a fraud. I'm like, whatever. Enjoy your life without any kind of spiritual connection. I don't care. And I'm glad you trust me. I really, even when I finish my private readings, I say thank you for trusting me with this, because I know that I'm connecting into your energy. That is a very safe and sacred space. And so I appreciate you trusting me. It did. Love yourselves. Okay, Starry Sky, I'm with you, dear. I'm with you. I have a red birthmark where my third eye is. Oh dear, that is a fun question. All right, so yay. I don't think here's the thing. I don't think it's an injury per se. It is connected to a past life of being deeply. Sorry, I'm wiggling around so much. It is connected to a past life of being deeply connected in through your third eye and having used it, and almost like, I don't want to call it a curse because I really hate curses, but I believe in this lifetime that you were in, that this happened, you sort of cursed yourself and shut it down as a punishment for getting information that it wasn't that it caused harm to someone else, but it was that idea that like somehow you created this situation. Like it was too much, it was too painful. So it was like, almost like, I'll never use this again. Like, you know how in, this is the perfect example. Practical Magic. Have you ever seen that with Sandra Bullock? I'll wait before I ramble on. By the way, totally love the movie. I like witchy little fun movies. I used to, my roommate in college and I would watch that movie all the time. You don't know it? Oh, you should watch it. I think it's on a lot. I don't know if it's on Epix or, I don't know. Okay, so the basis of the movie is that it's a line of witches, very gifted witches, and one woman was, I think she was like burned at the stake for falling in love with a muggle, I guess, if you're into Harry Potter. And so she put this curse on her line of generations ahead of her too, for like, will never fall in love with another man again, or something terrible will fall in love. It will befall the person if they ever fall in love, but not the witch, not the female, the male. Which has a whole other problem there, I just realized, because I'm like, why do they only have to be with men? Like, why couldn't they be lesbian, or why couldn't they be trans? A whole other problem there. Like, that's like a very but maybe they should remake that, right? Where it's more that should be rewritten. Okay, so anyway, but so it's the person that they fall in love with would die. It's tragic death, because it never wanted anybody to experience heartbreak again. So to me, it feels like in this lifetime that you were very intuitively connected, you essentially cursed yourself for so many lifetimes that you would not be connected in psychically, so as to not befall this heartbreak that happened to you in that life. Am I spiritually awakened? What is your thought on that, Cold Rain? Bye, Rachdan. Have a good week. So that's the feeling I get. that satisfy your question? I hope so. That was fun to do. Marlene, Lauren, Jane, and Mariana, you're up. Hi, Alessandra. You can do that. I always feel like you get a better reading if you're here, but I understand if you want to do it that way. We have another person who's doing that. So you can do that. Just understand that it may not be as like, there may be a point where I get a little stuck or I'm like, can you clarify that so I can keep moving with it? But that's fine. Like if it's a mediumship reading, absolutely not, because I need you here for that one. But if it's a psychic one, then I can try and help. Sound good? Preferably on your future. That's fantastic. I can absolutely do that. Do you want to focus on career, love, anything specific? I think hey is Marlene. I think I recall that from a long time ago. Okay, so go ahead and pay if you want, and I'll do it if it's like, but if it's a mediumship, I'm going to say no, because that's just, it's like if you think about mediumship, you'll give me one name, and it's like those old timey connecting the phone lines where I'm like, I think I'm getting, like this. Like think of that, like where I'm like, is this the right line? Is this the right line? I need you to validate that I'm getting the right people. Because sometimes, usually they come through perfectly, but sometimes somebody else decides to step in and you're like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, so hey. Lately I've been feeling more tired and just low energy. Do spirits have any advice for me? I actually feel like that's not even, I'm getting a couple things. So I actually, the first thing I felt like it's related to the eclipses and the shifting and the like releasing old belief systems and releasing old energies that are no longer working for you. So it's sort of like bringing this draggy, tiredy feeling, and sort of like where I'm, recuperating. But I also feel like you might be slightly anemic, so slight iron deficiency and dehydrated. So I don't know if you tend to run a little low on your iron levels. I'm not recommending to take anything, but you could increase your iron rich diet, iron rich foods as long, so like remember non-heme iron, it does not absorb as readily as heme iron. Heme iron is any animal-based iron. So if you are a plant-based eater, if you are a vegetarian, you're going to need to eat a little bit more iron-rich foods than you would if you were eating like, a steak. So if you aren't sure and you're feeling really tired, like again, I'm not a substitute for a doctor. So on the spiritual end, I do feel like it's, there's stuff going on planetary wise. And I feel like actually, so the solar eclipse finishes the 10th. From what I understand, because I'm not as well versed in astrology, so I don't tend to own that as much. Yes, drink or eat. You can eat vitamin C too. You can have a fruit, and usually that's better because there's more fiber and whatever. So, and remember your leafy greens have a lot of vitamin C and iron in them as well. But I'm not a doctor, so I'm not a replacement. So if you really are feeling kind of, and there's other stuff going on, please go in and get checked out, because they can do your blood levels and, look at all of that safely. But those are things, that's where I was being led, is that it might just be enough of like just eating a little bit more vitamin rich and iron rich food. Thank you, Cold Rain, for that reminder. Oh, I was going to say, sorry, I got a little sidetracked on the food thing. So the eclipses can affect you for up to I think up to 6 months out after the eclipses. So just remember that but like the big heavy part of it is kind of right now. You can look at some astrology people out there who explain it. There's this woman that I found, I think she goes by Victory Astrology. I kind of like her explanations on Instagram. I don't know. I was going to find her and then I was like, nah. But you can just find and see how eclipses affect you. Solar and lunar eclipses affect and these particular ones would affect your sun, rising, and moon signs and all of that. You know what? Retrograde can, but to me, it's more the eclipses. That's my feeling. So I'm giving, because she's here for my feelings on this. And retrogrades can, yes, of course, but they happen so often. I mean, what is it, like 3 times a year? They are about kind of like removing things that are no longer working for you and kind of reflecting on things. But to me, what's really affecting her is more the eclipses, because that's what I was told. So, okie dokie. Lauren Jane, you're up. Mariana, you're up. Christy K, you're up. And then I'm going to close it after Alessandra. Alessandra, do you want to write since you can't stay, do you want to write your question quick? And I won't answer it right now. I will answer it towards the end. What's coming up for me soon? Love and general. Okie dokie. Please like and subscribe if you aren't already. You're welcome. Hey. Just a general future. Anything is good, but definitely career. Okay, so we'll look at career. Teacher. You're a teacher, right? And I think you've said that in the past. Is that correct? I know there's a delay, but no. Sorry. I just felt like you were a teacher it was weird. I got like this cross between a teacher and like a speech therapist. You go to school for art right now. It's like, I was going to say, you're going back to school. So it's funny because I felt like going back to school, but I feel like becoming a director of some sort. So maybe that's why they were showing me that way, is like I'm doing this one thing, like I would say I'm a teacher, and I felt like going back to school, but to be like in more of an administrative position. So if you're going to school for art, it feels like I may go and start out, but it's like it's to become like an art director, or like I don't feel like I'm going to be an art teacher like on the lower end. I feel like I'm going to be more in charge of something, like on more of an administrative level. So where you would be making the final decisions. Does that make any sense when I say that? Because I don't feel like on the entry level type. So say if you were a graphic designer, you might be the art director of the graphic design department.
Yeah, it's not about really teaching. It's just like I feel like the way of them getting me to what I was saying is like, oh, she's a teacher, but she's going back to school to become like an administrator, a director, something in charge. So even though it's like, oh, I'm going to school for art, I feel like whatever you're doing that, it's not really going to be directly just like the person creating it. It's like the person making the decisions about it. Are you working for an art curator right now? Or a gallery or something? Because it's like even this, you going to school for this puts you in a better position to like be in charge of something where it's like you aren't the artist itself, but you're in charge of stuff. So that's what I feel like you end up doing. So I don't know how you get there, or like they're not telling me all of those, but it's the feeling of you end up being in charge of stuff. Like you're not the artist itself. It's not that you're not creative, and it's not that you're not good at what you do. It just feels like you have a real knack for leading and being in charge of, and decision making. Like you have this right-sided brain stuff, but you also have a very great analytical mind. So it's like learning the more business end of the art world versus that stuff. It may take a little bit, but I feel like with the art galleries, it'll start picking up more around September. So that might be actually like, even if they're not rushing to fill the spaces just yet. It feels like by September, August, September is sort of when that sort of happens. All right, Mariana, Christy K. Oh, here's Christy's. Is Mariana still here? Goodness gracious. There you are. Career reading, please. Feeling uncertain about my current position. Okay. They said this very clearly and very quickly. They said she'll be up and gone in 6 weeks, but it's not because you're getting fired. It's literally like this opportunity comes along, just like lands in your lap, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go. It feels like it's not. They said like, because I'm like, well, what is it about this current job? And it's like, it's lucrative, it's fine, I make enough money, and whatever, but it's more just like there's too much energetic like bureaucracy, like too much like having to jump through hoops and figure out and tiptoe around, and like, and it's like it's too exhausting, and it's like not worth it. And it's like this other opportunity comes up, and it actually feels like either somebody it's almost like there's somebody you used to work with that thinks of you and is like, hey, would you want it? Are you in a position where you'd want to leave? We need to fill this position, kind of thing. And I thought of you. And it's literally very, very quick. It happens quickly. So for this eclipse that's coming, it's supposed to be like really great for manifesting. Now, here's the other thing. If you believe it, then it is. So if you want to believe there's a lot more power with one thing over another, then it has more power over one thing over another. You can manifest anytime, but sometimes people need this little bit of like this is the good stuff. This would be a good time for you to put out there for that to come along. Christy K. Yeah, that's I just saw the micromanager thing. That's the feeling of like tiptoeing around, like, ugh, that's exhausting. Who wants to do that? Like, we're all adults. Control is funny, isn't it? Okay. Currently in waiting room for egg retrieval. Is IVF going to work this time? Waiting to be called in. Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. All right, let's see. I heard they're gonna, so I feel like successful 3 retrieval, successful 3, that they're able to fertilize all 3, but I feel like only 2 take. Are you thinking of implanting 2? 1 may split. I don't know how it is, but it's like 2, like, but I keep getting this like 2 take, 1 splits. So it may be that 2 take, 1 splits, and then eventually the second one that didn't split like dies off or doesn't fully develop or something. But it feels like there are 3 successful retrievals, 2 take, 1 splits. Like there's this weird thing that happens, but I feel like you will be a multi-para pregnancy. So if you get this, if you can validate it, if you listen to this afterwards and you can validate it in a comment or whatever, that would be lovely, Christy. Let me know. Good luck to you and sending you lots and lots of love on that one. Ashley P. Also, if you can, just relax around it and mantras. I deserve to be a mom. It's safe for me to be a mom. I'm happy. I accept this pregnancy, and of course you accept it, but it's like sort of like energetically, like I accept and allow and release any fears that I have around being pregnant and things not working out in my favor. Everything always works out in my favor. The universe has my back, all of that stuff. Hi, Ashley. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're up for your question. Ashley P, you can ask your question. Aura and Regine just wants a general. She couldn't stay here. Khalil is feeling about me. I don't know if he's being genuine, serious, or not with what he's told me. Okay. Okay. I literally, so you're going to hear me say this a lot, Dylan James. I literally watched a video of his and he's like, first I'm going to say this. If you see a red flag and you're like, that's weird, that's too soon, or that's whatever, listen to that. Do not ignore that. Listen to that. It's really, really important in relationships. Listen to your intuition. Seems too soon? Probably too soon. Why does someone want to get in a relationship so soon? Not that there's anything wrong with you, but like, what's the rush? No rush. There's no rush. Time is non-existent. So this Dylan James thing was like, we call it in, we accept it in, and then we push it away because at the core belief, we don't think that we're worthy, valuable of having all that stuff. So it literally has nothing to do with him, and it's all to do with your self-worth and self-value thing. I saw this quote and I thought it was like, it's so smart. You get to a point where you're reprogrammed enough or you're healed, whatever you want to call it, ascended, expanded, whatever. And you go, why was I spending so much time worrying about whether or not like I was good enough for them or what they thought of me? And it's like, why am I not worried about what do I think of them? So I'm throwing this back at you. What do you think of him? What does he bring to the table? Is he good enough for you? Really? Like, I think that he has a lot of like issues with connecting in with his emotions, being in touch with his emotions. My sense is, this is what they're telling me, that he's like hot and cold being emotionally available, which is what he's already shown you. But my sense is that like, that's not going to change because he's not really willing to look at himself and his faults. He is hypersensitive to criticism.
And therefore, it will be like a lot of back and forth, push and pull, codependent type behaviors, like emotional roller coaster ride. So like my senses, so anxiety is a lot about of like not feeling safe, not feeling secure, not feeling stable, like, and it comes out of nowhere. And it's, I really think that that's programmed in from childhood. And like, one of my, like my best friend has a lot of anxiety stuff. And like, sometimes she'll tell me stories about her childhood and I'm like, well, that's where that comes from. Like, of course, like it's so obvious to me. So like really, I cannot stress doing these like reprogramming things, like listening to these affirmations, doing these things. It isn't that, again, it's just like I'm saying it because it's really amazing. Will you hear from him again? Oh, it'll be implanted this Saturday. Hang on. Okay. Oh, I was answering Christy's and then, sorry, I kind of got a little mixed up. So let me finish with Ashley's and then I'll address yours, Christy, okay? You will hear from him again, and it's going to be like a lot of, the relationship that you have with him is going to be a lot of emotional ups and downs, right? It's going to be a lot of like, there's good times, there's bad times. He tells me all these wonderful things, kind of like, I don't think he's fully narcissistic. I think he's just not fully emotionally available, but it's going to be like that relationship of up and down, drag you in, pull you closer, and then like just shut you out because he can't deal with his own stuff. It's like overwhelming. So like dealing with you is like, I do think he likes you. It's not that I don't think that like he likes you. It's just like he doesn't know how to process his stuff. And he has attachment issues. So he'll call you. Christy, so anxiety, reprogramming that, like I'm safe, I'm secure. And I know this is easier said than done. He flaked because he has a hard time with emotional connections. So look up attachment issues. I can't remember which one that's once considered, but there's like attachment issues stuff. And he doesn't, I don't think he's fully aware that he's doing it. It's just like, he has attachment issues. You didn't do anything wrong. Literally nothing wrong. I know, Christy, that I had a hard time getting pregnant when I first got pregnant. Not hard, but it was just like taking longer, like definitely like not comparing it to yours. But I had all these past life stuff come through when I was sort of asking my guides for guidance on it and what was going on, what was preventing it. And that was interesting as I met up with one of my light worker groups, and this guy, Sam, was like, you know, and he validated all of these visions that I had been having. So he did this energetic thing with me, which I thought was really cool, where it was like, you take the positive and the negative of it. So like, it's okay to be pregnant. It's okay not to be pregnant. It's okay to be a mother. It's okay not to be a mother. And like all of these things, it's okay to experience whatever. And kind of going back and forth, just sort of like releasing the pressure of this mental mindset. But I also feel like it's like reminding yourself that your body is capable of doing this. Your body can handle this. You can go through this. I feel really attached to my solar plexus chakra that feels really tight. So I feel like it's that it does have a lot to do with value and worth and self-esteem. And this is on an energetic level. So remember that. I am not a doctor or a substitute for a doctor. You're welcome, Ashley. He's not with anybody else. I just think he has issues. Christy, so it just feels like
reminding yourself that you'll be a good mom, that it's safe to be a mom, that it's, you're not going to repeat the patterns of your mother. Does this resonate with you when I say that? Or if you want to write your question, I've got Regine's and then Alessandra's, and then R. Davis, if you want to write your question, Aura and R. Davis, and I'll do Regine's and Alessandra's last since they're not here. I am currently searching for a job abroad. When do you see me getting a job? I see it in September, but I don't see it's like there's a holdup with paperwork or like visa work or something like, so it keeps you there till like the end of October, the end of October, I feel like. Maybe stretch into early November, but not like when I started to say it was like, no, it feels like October. So it feels like hired, but there's something with paperwork and kind of like keeping you, but you'll be there by the end of October. I don't think, I know you're searching for the job. I don't think anyone's really doing a lot of international stuff. Like I think the hiring will get, like as they are better about their immunization program and sort of like getting everything under control, I think it'll be like, again, September when you get hired. It may even begin end of August, early September when you get hired. And then like, it's just a while, like it's like a paperwork thing. R. Davis, are you still here? If you want to write your question. And then I'll start doing while I'm waiting for R. Davis. I've got Regine wants a general reading. They're talking about the new year for you, Regine. They're not talking about like this year. They're talking about like things like lots of new beginnings in the new year, lots of things going right for you, like everything sort of falling into place, everything coming up gold. Like they're saying new love, but I don't feel like it's like romantic love. So I'm not sure exactly what this means, but it's like new things coming in. Like maybe it's like a how do I say this? New, we have like passion for like a passion project, new love for that. Like not, I don't feel like it's like romantic love. Oh, they said you're holding yourself back right now. Again, this is mental block type things that are stopping you. But I feel like it's like you figure it out and in September it just starts to open up and go, but you'll see the fruits of your success like in the new year. The new year is like sort of where they're coming up with like being really like 2022. And then they're also highlighting 2023 being a big year too for growth and success for you. Do you have a puppy or are you thinking about getting a puppy? Because they also like, I kept seeing like a golden doodle kind of or labradoodle kind of dog. You're welcome, Aura. And then Alessandra, coming soon, love or general. So Alessandra, and then I've got R. Davis, if you want to, I don't know if you're here, but I'm going to close it out if you don't hurry up and ask.
Because, oh, there you are. Ask your question. While I'm waiting for you to type, I'm gonna just go ahead and do Alessandra's, and then I'll do yours, and then we're done. Alessandra, I feel like nothing for love for 6 months. It's weird because it's not like, I don't feel like heavy dating or anything else. I feel like you're not really putting yourself out there. It's like you're not really ready yet for about 6 months. It literally feels like dead space, like being in a box and there's nothing around. I feel like heavily invested in my career and focusing on my career and my self-development. And like sort of trying to make sure everything is lined up in that way. I don't know what you do for work, but it's like, it feels like focused on big projects or focused on something big that needs to get off, like that I need to like focus on this to get it off the ground, to launch it, whatever. And then I sort of can breathe and have a social life. Also, pandemic. But it feels like 6 months for me. So by the end of the year, open to love. I do feel like you'll be with somebody by Valentine's Day. I don't know if this is the one, but I do feel like you will be in a relationship by Valentine's Day. Can you give me a name? Because there's lots of Virgos in the world. So if you could just give me a first name. I don't care about a last name. Excuse me, yawn. Yawn. Sorry, just putting my lips get dry from the heater in here. Because while it's 93 degrees out, I have to put a heater on in my basement. I see your question. Do you see my question? I will tell you this, R. Davis, I really don't care about sun signs, moon signs, rising signs. I like first names. If you could do that. KK, can you type? Is there a big delay? Can I just get a first name? Is EJ his first name? Or is that like you're worried about? Okay. All right. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. Don't shoot the messenger. I feel like EJ doesn't even notice you or realize you're there, but I also feel like you're not really putting yourself out there. It's like a crush from afar. It's like very little interaction. So there's no way that he would know that you're interested. Does that make sense when I say that?
And you can delete your comment now if you want. I saw the name. And I'm not saying this to be like mean or judgmental. It's just the feeling that like he doesn't know you exist because he doesn't like there's not enough interaction. Like it's like crushing on someone from afar and hoping that the vibes get there. Does this resonate when I say this to you? Does this make sense? Can you validate any of what I'm saying? KK, can you post it? She seems to see when you write yours. Can you tell her that I've been answering it? Is she not listening? No, I saw that. Will you just tell her I answered it? I don't know if she's listening. And I don't know if she's seeing what I'm typing. Because she seemed to see what you typed. I bet she's not live on it. I bet she's like rewatching it sort of behind it. I wouldn't even have thought of that. Thank you, KK. R. Davis, are you there? When you catch up, I don't want to sit here for another 20 minutes. Sorry. My sense is honestly that it's not going to happen. Like you're not going to connect. And it's not because there's anything wrong with you or anything. It's like, it's one goes back to the value and the worth and like, but it's also like not wanting to be seen. It's almost like, I don't feel like you're flirting or anything. It's like, I have a crush on somebody from afar. So he doesn't know like you're interested. It's like not on his radar of somebody. You know, Hollywood movies are really fantastic and love stories are amazing, but like they're also not real. And I don't know. They're make believe. So you're not really in connection. So he doesn't know that you're really interested. There's a distance between you. I don't feel like he's going to be the one. I got to tell you this. This isn't psychic. This is just knowing guys, growing up with guys as friends. And if they're interested, they'll show you. They'll put the effort in. They'll put the work in. And you won't have to do anything. Go to the Dylan James channel and listen to his affirmation thing. I don't know, the like original one he tells you to listen to. I really think that it's important. you won't have to play these games of like, is he going to contact me? Is he not going to contact me? Because you'll be like, I don't really care if he contacts me because I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. I'm valuable. I'm worthy, and I can have whatever I want. And then it like sort of becomes like not an issue of whether or not he contacts you. Okie dokie. KK, my love, thank you so much. Everybody else, have a wonderful week. Reminder that my private reading rates are going to be going up on July 1st. I'm also offering message circles. You can purchase them now, psychic development groups. You can purchase them now. They will start on July 1st. One of them is July 1st. The other one starts on July 5th. And I'm excited to start those. So have a great week, and I will see you later.